What is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting information and computer systems from theft, damage, and misuse, or from unauthorized manipulation of the hardware, software, data, or other digital assets. Cybersecurity is a broad term that encompasses many different parts of protecting a system from a cyber attack. Security of digital assets has never been as crucial as it is now, when every aspect of personal and business lives is being digitized for our convenience, efficacy, and cost reduction. In the past, sensitive information was kept in our wallets, or written in notepads and locked in safes. Nowadays, our personal information is kept on the servers in the data centers, which we call the cloud. As an example, let's look at the My Government account. A driver's license, Medicare, and other government services can now be linked to a single My Government account. For obvious convenience, this, however, created a single point of failure if My Government account is compromised. For this reason, it is paramount to stay vigilant when it comes to your personally identifiable information, PII. Know where you keep your information, and follow baseline cybersecurity practices we discuss further down. The cloud as we know it. More businesses are moving their data from on-premises servers and network storage devices to cloud providers, trusting the security mechanisms of the cloud technology, not realizing that it is a mutual responsibility to keep the data secure. For instance, Microsoft 365 Suite, which includes email, SharePoint Online, OneDrive and Teams, is delivered to the end user as a software as a service (SaaS) model. In the SaaS model, the cloud provider, Microsoft, is responsible for the hardware, software, platform, and application security. As users of the product, you and I are responsible for the security configuration and management of the cloud. Most of the cyber attacks in the cloud happen due to misconfiguration of the cloud resources. Information security. Information is an asset and an intellectual property. If the information is valuable to your organization, it presents value to your competitors or perpetrators. Securing information means ensuring its confidentiality, integrity, and availability, CIA. Let's look at each in more detail. Confidentiality. Confidentiality ensures that only authorized parties have access to the information. Employees should have access only to information documents and systems they are designated to. Shared documents and organizations' resources can be accidentally or intentionally overshared or intercepted during transit. Without appropriate authentication and authorization mechanisms, the confidentiality of the information can be compromised. Integrity. Integrity confirms that the information has not been tampered with, and only authorized parties can modify it. When the data is stored on an endpoint, laptop, desktop, mobile device, server, NAS, it is referred to as data at rest. When the data is being downloaded, uploaded, sent or received via email or chat, the data is referred to as in transit. The data must be encrypted in both states, in transit and at rest, so no one can tamper with it. Availability. Availability is when the authorized parties have access to the information when they need it. What could impact the availability of the data or organization's resources? Power outages, disk corruption, hardware failure, a virus attack, unauthorized changes or misconfiguration can affect data availability and the company's resources. Why protect personal identity and data? It is important to keep personal information protected from unauthorized access. Personal information is a piece of information that helps to make an anonymous individual reasonably identifiable. The list of personal information is vast and includes a person's full name, home address, phone numbers, date of birth, email addresses, username and passwords, bank details, driver's license, Medicare details, tax file information, credit information, employment records, sensitive information, racial or ethnic origin, political opinion, religious beliefs, sexual orientation, criminal records, the information like geolocation, IP address and browser cookies become personal as well when used in conjunction with a person's metadata. Identity fraud is one of the common attacks on personal information. It happens when someone uses another person's details to commit a crime, break into his or her bank account, get a loan, perform a tax fraud, or any fraudulent activity. It takes from a few months to a year to fully restore one's stolen identity. When personal information is compromised, attackers can lock the victim out from all online accounts and data and hold for ransom until the victim pays them out in untraceable currency, Bitcoin, or alike. How to protect personal identity and data. At Cyber Elements, we use a layered security approach to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the organization's data and resources. Imagine an onion sliced in half. Now picture your data and the most valuable assets in the center of the onion. Every layer represents a security mechanism that protects your data. If one layer gets compromised, the next layer guards your data and assets. Some of the security layers in protecting access to your data are: passphrases instead of passwords. We recommend using passphrases that contain over 25 characters and are hard to guess. A passphrase is a combination of 5 or so random words that are easy to remember but hard to guess or crack. Do not use fragments of song lyrics or a poem because they are easily guessable. Here are examples of good passphrases: thriving, cat, theology, order, babble, or snub, folk, jaybird, spinner, velvet. You can also use password managers, but make sure you do not reuse your passwords across different services because that would dramatically reduce the effectiveness of any password managing solution. Multi-factor authentication. Where possible, enable multi-factor authentication to enhance the security of your access. It has been demonstrated that an authentication app on a mobile phone is more secure when compared to SMS code verification. A SIM swap attack cracks the SMS code verification security mechanism. Keep operating system and applications updated. Unpatched computer systems pose a threat to the whole organization. Hackers rely on unpatched and misconfigured systems during lateral movement to elevate their access privileges and compromise additional computer resources. System patching should be part of your vulnerability management program. Learn more about the importance of vulnerability management and how you can benefit from it. Use only reputable and commercial versions of antivirus software. Antivirus protection, as a service, has evolved and branched out to endpoint detection and response solutions. EDR is much more than just an antivirus that checks files based on their signatures. EDR solutions analyze the behavior of processes and services running on your computer systems and utilize machine learning and artificial intelligence to detect and respond to an unauthorized activity to prevent a potential compromise. To learn more about endpoint protection and how it can help your organization, visit our Endpoint Protection Service offering. Do not connect to public Wi-Fi networks. Do not connect to public Wi-Fi networks without using a virtual private network, VPN. There is a misconception that VPN is used only to hide one's identity in order to conduct malicious activities. This is no longer the case. VPN must be used whenever you connect your device to a public or untrusted network, such as outdoor settings, shopping centers, airports, cafeterias. Know your digital footprint. Know your personal and organization's digital footprint on the internet and social media platforms. Do not accidentally expose sensitive information about your employees, customers, or partners. If you are not sure how much of your organization's sensitive data is exposed on the internet, or if there is any misconfigured system facing the internet, check our open source intelligence service, where we cover it in detail, or call us to discuss it further. Backup, encrypt, delete. Back up your data regularly. Use the 3-2-1 rule for your data backup strategy. 3 means you should have at least 3 copies of your data production copy plus 2 backup copies. 2 means you should store data on 2 different media types, local hard disk, network storage, tape drive. 1 means you should have 1 copy of the backup stored off-site or in the cloud. Encrypt the data and the backups. If your data and the backups are not encrypted, then if the backup media is lost or compromised, your backup data is readable and available to anyone who has got access to it. On the other hand, if your backups are encrypted, the data is unreadable, even if hackers got their hands on it. Delete the data or store it offline if no longer needed. Any data stored on a network in the office or in the cloud has a risk of being compromised. Have a policy in place to archive or delete data if it is no longer needed. Do not store sensitive data that is meant to be transitional or temporary in the first place. If you would like to know more about backup and disaster recovery planning, visit our cybersecurity managed services. Know what is phishing and how to identify malicious web links. Phishing is a type of social engineering attack which is executed by sending a weaponized email to a victim, tricking the victim into believing the email is legitimate, and requesting to click on a malicious link. That link takes the victim to a cloned website to steal credentials, download a payload, expose sensitive information, or perform a particular action, usually transfer money. 6 types of phishing attacks. Deceptive phishing is the most common untargeted type of attack, due to the ease of its implementation. During deceptive phishing, the hacker fabricates a malicious email and sends it to thousands of recipients. The most popular brand impersonations among phishers are PayPal, Facebook, Microsoft, Netflix, and WhatsApp. Spear phishing is a targeted attack. The hacker is targeting a particular organization, department, or individual. Whaling or CEO fraud attack targets executive personnel, CEO, CFO, COO, CCO. Phishing is an attack that targets victims by phone. We all get the calls from an automated system claiming to be a call from a taxation department or internet service provider, ISP. Smishing attack executed via SMS or text messages. Fake SMS messages about parcel delivery or recent eBay or FedEx purchases. Pharming attack is when the attacker poisons the DNS cache and redirects DNS requests to a rogue server. This is a more sophisticated attack type that would affect multiple users within the organization. One of the most effective ways to protect your organization from a social engineering attack is to conduct regular cyber awareness training. Learn more about this on our Cyber Awareness Training Service page. This is not a complete list of the security mechanisms that we go over when evaluating an organization's cybersecurity posture. If you would like to learn more, visit our Cybersecurity Services page, call us or send us a message. Keep your data safe